I'm Dr. Whitley Lassen. I'm the clinical director at Psych and a licensed clinical psychologist. Today we wanted to talk about a specific type of evidence-based therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT for short. I'm so excited today to be joined by Dr. Andrew Bertagnoli. Dr. Bertagnoli is a licensed clinical psychologist and a psychology professor. He was actually my professor in an Intro to CBT course in graduate school, and what I learned from him really inspired me to learn more about CBT and to get more training and pursue becoming a CBT therapist myself. So welcome, Dr. Bertagnoli.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here and talk to you about one of the things that I really enjoy about doing psychotherapy is doing it from a cognitive behavioral perspective.
The first question is, what is CBT?
CBT stands for cognitive behavioral therapy, and it's a theory that's used to help understand people's psychology as well as psychological distress. The C in cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, refers to cognitive. Cognitive is our thoughts, our beliefs, and our attitudes, the way we think about things and what we think about things. And the B, the behavioral, refers to what we're doing. So the main idea behind CBT is that our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors have a powerful effect on each other, and they can create a cycle of sorts. This cycle can either be helpful and allow us to cope with everyday events and live a life that we find fulfilling and productive, or sometimes the cycle can get in our way. It can make it hard for us to adapt to changes, to bounce back from setbacks or disappointments. And then we can begin to have prolonged emotional distress and often engage in behaviors which can then block us from living the kind of life that we want to live. So the theory shows that making a change in either what we're thinking, meaning the self-talk or the internal dialogue that we have, or by changing what we're doing or sometimes not doing, that can have a lasting and powerful impact on how we're feeling on a day-to-day basis.
So what you're saying is that thoughts can influence our feelings, and if we change our thoughts, that can change our feelings or our emotions. Or changing our behaviors can also change our feelings or emotions. And when you work with a CBT therapist, you would look at changing both your thoughts and your behaviors. Am I getting that right?
CBT with a therapist tends to start out with helping you develop an awareness of what you're thinking. So the idea is that we are constantly kind of talking to ourselves in our heads as we go through life. So what you'll do in CBT is looking at whether a thought is accurate or not. Maybe I was walking down the street and I saw you, Whitley, on the other side of the street, and I waved and I even yelled out, Whitley, Whitley. And you just walked by. You didn't acknowledge me. I might have a thought, she's mad at me. She doesn't like me. I did something wrong that she's upset with. Now, those thoughts I was having in the moment started making me feel bad. But if you're working with a therapist, they might say, well, let's look at one of those thoughts. And maybe it's the thought I identify as that she's mad at me. That would be horrible if Whitley was mad at me. And then you and your therapist would work together to figure out, well, let's look at it. Is that thought 100% accurate in that moment? So then I might be encouraged to look for evidence. What have you done that would make Whitley angry? And I would then say, well, what have you done that would demonstrate that that thought isn't accurate, that she isn't angry? What else could be a reason why she's not waving back at you? So maybe it is I didn't respond to Whitley's email. I didn't return her phone call. I didn't like something she posted on social media. Those all may be evidence to support why Whitley might be mad at me. But then let's also look at why maybe she's not. Maybe she didn't hear me. It was a busy street. There was lots of traffic. There were 4 lanes of traffic and there was a bus. Maybe she didn't see me. Maybe she was busy doing something else or preoccupied. What you would then work with your therapist on is trying to do that same activity in real time. So that when you're walking the street, I wave to you, you don't wave back. Rather than me starting to feel depressed, having thoughts that you don't like me, I might say, that's interesting. Whitley didn't wave back. Wonder what's going on. Maybe she didn't hear me. Maybe she didn't recognize me because I'm wearing different glasses or my beard is bigger. And then my action might be different. Rather than my first action might be maybe avoid you because I don't want to confront you or I don't want you to tell me you're mad. Maybe I'm like, you know what? I'm going to shoot Whitley a quick text. Hey, just saw you walking down Main Street. Hope you had a good day. A very different behavior. So that's the way that your therapist would work, is identify the thoughts, evaluate the thoughts, and then determine, are there more helpful thoughts to have? And then also look at different ways of behaving.
I think that's a really great example. Thank you for explaining a little bit about what it might be like to work with a therapist who's using CBT. And if you need some help in finding a trained CBT therapist, a great resource is the Association for Behavioral and Cognitive Therapists. The website is findcbt.org/FAT. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on social media, and visit psychhub.com to learn more about our Mental Health Ally certification. Leave us comments and questions and suggestions on what you'd like to learn more about. Dr. Bertagnoli, it was a pleasure to have this conversation with you today about CBT.
Thanks, Dr. Lassen. I enjoyed it as well, and I do hope that folks are able to get the help that they need, and hopefully CBT will be a part of that solution for them.